Shout out to Marco Padrana, Alfredo Jr., and the gaming squad for being a part of our channel memberships and all our channel members. Welcome back, Gaming with King family, to another F1 Clash video. And today it's time for the how-to for Series 8. Alright, so we're going to be doing our how-to for Series 8 today. But before we jump into the video, remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and also leave a like on the video. Really appreciate you guys for all your support. Alright, now we've basically raced on all the tracks previously in Series 8. We've already raced on Monaco, we've already covered all the tracks, so by now we should know how to race on these tracks up here in Series 8. Alright, as you know, first thing, you want to get your best drivers. Hopefully, if you haven't unlocked these drivers that I'm using, you use your best driver that you have. Don't really focus on the exact drivers I am using, as they are my best drivers. So you use your best drivers and that will be fine. And you use your best fast bit time tune. I'm currently on my best fast bit time tune. So you use yours and that will be also fine. Alright, let's jump straight into this Series 8 how-to. So we're going to do 2 races on 2 separate tracks, and then we'll talk about the next 2. Alright, so because we've raced on these tracks in previous seasons, previous series, by now you all should know exactly how to race on these tracks. So first coming up is Monaco, cloudy in qualifiers. Let's see what the qualifiers are going to be like. Looking good, our drivers are pulling away. Well, nice qualifiers here from Leclerc. However, Vettel is still in the back, but the technique still remains the same. We're going to go for 4 laps on these soft tires, and we're going to come back to what it seems to be wet tires and boost to the finish on those wets. Alright, so we're going for 4 laps. If it's not raining by the time we come back, we will come back to another set of softs until we need to come to wets. Alright, but as you know, the technique remains the same. Focus mainly on the technique. A lot of you guys have been complaining about my levels and my drivers, and I've been explaining not to focus on my drivers and my levels. Use your best drivers and your best levels that you got for your setup, and focus basically on the technique. So as you can see, we boost from the start until we reach to that corner. Then we've cut the boost from there, and we're going into our conserve phase right here. Alright, so you want to focus on boosting to that exact corner. You want to focus on cutting your boost right there and get your drivers to start their conserve phase. It doesn't matter where or what position you are on the track. Just make sure you go boost from the start to that corner, and then you cut that boost and let your drivers conserve, and from there your drivers will be able to do 4 laps, alright, on these softs. So once we get our 4 laps in, we'll go to wets, as it's going to be a wet to the end, and then we'll boost to the finish, as these wet tires can go for 4 to 6 laps and 4 to 7 laps for Leclerc. Alright, if it wasn't raining, if it wasn't going to rain, we would have gone back to hard tires, and we'll boost those hard tires to the end. Alright, so this technique still remains as is. Alright, so focus on using the technique and not so much on my levels and stuff. Alright, as once you're using your best levels, the game is going to match you evenly according to your levels. Alright, alright, so conserve is looking good. Looks like we might be able to get even 5 laps from our drivers here, as it would be 20% per lap if we want to go for 5. So if we cross the line at 40%, which we are crossing the line now with Leclerc at 40%, looks like we can go 5 laps with Leclerc and 4 laps with Perez. Alright, so let's put in our go to pit orders. If it wasn't going to rain, we would have put it into hard tires. And then we're going to boost our Leclerc from there. And then we'll let our Verstappen continue to conserve. We boost Leclerc so he can create a little bit of distance between himself and Verstappen, so when he goes to pit, he does not stop. Alright, so that's why we boost the first driver out, and then we'll let Leclerc continue to conserve right into pit, and he's going to come in right behind. Just a little bit of stock in there, about a few seconds, not too much to impact or damage our techniques or our strategy. Okay, so we're back out in wets and we're basically boosting to the finish, and that's how you win on Monaco. All right, so you can use this technique on any track on Monaco, any series where Monaco is in, as long as you can get those first 4 laps on those soft tires. Majority of the time you can get those 4 laps on those soft tires for Monaco. So as long as you get those 4 laps, you want to go for 4 laps, come back and go to hard tires and boost to the finish from there. The easiest technique for Monaco, as I said yesterday in yesterday's how-to video, that this technique can be also used for tracks like Spain, Hungary, Mexico, and China. All right, so this technique is excellent for those tracks as well, and it's the easiest techniques to use for those tracks. %, so those who are on regular tires are going to start to slow. Light arrival, he's going to start to slow from there. As you can see, while other drivers are going into the pit, you're going to be out there and you're going to be boosting and pushing, so you'll be picking up those positions, and it's like easy wins all day long for this technique. All right, excuse me, what is he doing? Oh, he's going to pit, but why is he driving so? Oh, because he's on regular tires and it's raining in heavy rain. It's like 82% at the time. So he's all right. So Game with King coming for a lap here. Second time live on the video. Second time now I'm lapping a car in this game, in F1 Clash 2021, or in F1 Clash overall. It's the second time I'm lapping a car. See if we can pick off Hamilton on this corner. Yes, we did. And look at that. That car crashed. Did that car crash? Look at that. That car crashed. Oh my God, that's crazy. It looks like that car crashed. There it is, number 24. Is he out of fuel? Yeah, it's a crash. Nikita Mazepin crashed in Sector 3 in the end of the race. Look at that right there. Insane. That's crazy. Mazepin crashed at the end of the race. That was an epic. No, but come on, that was epic for the series. Smash that like button, guys. If you haven't smashed the like button before, smash that like button. That was just epic. Subscribe to the channel for all your F1 Manager content if you haven't already done so. Let's get to 10k subs. It's gonna be epic. Let's go. That was just epic right there in the end, to see Mazepin crashing out there. Crazy. Alright, so we went up against a level 4 Leclerc and a level 5 Vettel. Our pit time is faster than his, but he has a nice car setup on there. Alright, let's jump into another race and then we'll talk about techniques for the next 2 tracks. Alright, so that technique that we just used can also be used on Brazil as well. Alright, so if we do not get Brazil here, that technique would cover Brazil as well. And it's a simple technique. You just conserve, boost for the first, boost from the start to a certain point, cut down to conserve for 4 laps, go back to hard tires, boost to the finish, go back to wet tires, boost to the finish, and you're done. That's it. Nothing technical with that technique. It's the simplest technique in F1 Clash to use. Alright, let's see what qualifiers looks like on Baku here. Nice comeback there from Verstappen. Pretty decent qualifiers for our guys. Once again, do not pay attention to my driver's levels and where I'm qualifying in the pack. Mainly focus on the technique that I'm using. Alright, so for here on Baku, we're gonna go with that split technique and go for 4 laps with Verstappen, 3 laps with Leclerc. So we're basically gonna be doing a 4-2-2 with Verstappen, and we're gonna be doing a 3-2-3 with Leclerc. Alright, so you want to boost off, cut down the boost right after this corner, so your drivers can get nice and comfortable and get into conserve and start to defend. If they pick up any position or if they're in the back, they'll just cruise and get comfortable. So what we want to do here is with our Leclerc, or with whichever driver you select on the soft tires, make sure you select that driver that can do 2 to 3 laps on those soft tires. Alright, so the driver that can do 2 to 3 laps on those soft tires, we're going to go for 3 laps with him on conserve. Then we're going to come back and boost 2 laps and then come back to hard tires and boost to the finish. While Verstappen, the one that you select to go on hard tires, you're going to do 4 laps with him. Then you're going to come back to 2 laps on softs and boost 2 laps to the finish on softs as well. Alright, so you don't want to focus too much on your rival overtaking. Just allow them to go. As long as you're in your conserve phase, you definitely need to be in conserve on this track to get those 3 laps in. And once you start your conserve phase, then you don't want to boost at all. You just want to let your drivers drive. Right, as you can see, Leclerc retook that position from Vettel, and Verstappen is doing pretty decent for us. Once again, do not focus on our drivers and their levels. Focus on the technique that we're using, so you can use that technique as well and get these wins. Alright, so now we're going to be putting in our go to pit orders for our Leclerc here. So your drivers that's on soft tires, you should put in your go to pit orders for that driver, and then you'll allow your driver on hard tires to get those 4 laps in, and then he's going to come back to pit. Alright, so it's pretty simple. One driver, 3-2-3, hard tires at the end. Second driver, 4-2-2, soft tires at the end. Alright, it's not as simple as conserving for 4 laps and coming to hard tires and boost to the finish, but it is still not that complicated. Alright, so we're going to be starting our boost phase now with our Leclerc, which is our driver on the soft tires, and he's out and he's in his boost phase. And now we're going to put in our go to pit orders for our driver, which is on our hard tires, to go for his first pit stop and put on those soft tires. Alright, so this technique can be used for any 8-lap races that does not gives you 4 laps at the start. Alright, so tracks like what's that track, Melbourne, tracks like Melbourne in Australia, the other track for this series, this technique is pretty good for that track as well. Tracks like Bahrain, this technique is good for those kind of tracks that does not gives you 4 laps at the start. Any tracks that give you 4 laps of soft tires, this technique is not the one you want to use. You want to use that previous one that we looked on, that gave you 4 laps, and then come back to hard tires and boost to the finish. Alright, so here we can see the rival going now for hard sets, and he's not going to be going back to pit, but we still have 2 pit stops to go, so that's going to give him a good opportunity to cut down some of that time. But we have that boost on for both of our drivers, and they will be boosting like hell to get away from the rival, to create some distance so they can go to pit and come back out. Alright, now Verstappen to put in his go to pit orders for him to come back around. As you can see, Leclerc in and out of the pit because of that fast pit time setup, and he's just now going to be boosting to the finish, as the rival is on old set of hard tires, so his Russell should go back to pit. Not so sure if his Verstappen is going to go back to pit, but that Russell should go back to pit, and or Verstappen here is going to go to pit. Remember, once again, look at it as driver in softs and drivers in hard. Alright, not necessarily these drivers that I'm using, but your best drivers should get the job done. All right, let's go Verstappen. So the key is to get your fast pit time on, so when you go into the pit, you can make those advances. As you can see, we went into the pit behind Hamilton and behind Verstappen AI, and we got out before them, and that's what you want. All right, you want to get into the pit be able to get into the pit behind your rival and get out before them. All right, that's what you want. This is why the fast pit time is so effective, because you're gonna be making up time in the pits. All right, so let's continue now and boost to the finish. And this technique covers the other track which we did not race on, which is Melbourne. So if you're racing on Melbourne, this is a technique you want to use. And the one that we used on Monaco covered both Brazil and Monaco. All right, so these are the techniques you want to use for Series 8 and get these wins. All right, they can be used on any series where these tracks are in, as they're awesome techniques to use at any level. You just want to make sure you have a good amount of pit time, fast pit time setup, so you can go into the pit and out for the win. All right, looks like it's almost going to be our first 1-2. So close, so close. It was almost going to be our first 1-2 of the season, but it is what it is. Great race there with an awesome technique. All right, so let's wait for the rival Russell to finish his race, and then we'll end the video there. Really appreciate you guys for all your support. All right, there we go. So great race there, putting up some good score, 46 points, looking really strong. Getting ready to go into the GP event. We're going to go into the contenders division. So if you haven't seen our GP qualifying video, it should be out by now, so check out that one as well. And that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.